Okay, so essentially we're going to talk about the pressure in your feet
Alright.
at this point in time, and unfortunately there's been a lot of people that have been a little bit misconstrued. There's a bit too much angle in that leg there, right? So what that means essentially is there's going to be too much pressure in that foot there. Now, at the end of the day, the best players in the world have roughly about 55% pushing down in this foot here,
Yep.
and that's only because of this tilt here. Huh? I don't want that tilt to change, I just want this hip to come across here and push down on that left foot.
So at the moment I'm like that.
Yeah, way
and I want to
like
be
that.
up here.
Yeah, just a little bit more that way.
Okay.
So then from there, that's going to then determine what happens from there, essentially. So if we go back over here for a second, I'll start going to the top of the backswing, and then through to impact. Okay, so as we play this through, we're going to see quite a handsy motion to start off with, which really doesn't worry me too much. But then we start seeing even more pressure going on that right side.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now in 2/100ths of a second from here to here, you have to move a hell of a lot. Okay, and that's not what we're after. Yeah. So if we go back to the start and we start playing Mr. Squiggle again here, I'm going to put that there and this here, and if we go from here, you see it move around quite a bit, and now you're going backwards.
Oh, wow.
All right. So, and that's your brain's way of trying to lift it off the ground. Now, of course, you hit it along the ground and hit it on the head and dribble along the ground enough that your brain's going to start to go, well, I don't know what's going on. I've got to try and lift it up in the air. So if I give you a ball and ask you to throw it up in the air, you do that, right? So, and that motion with that hand is doing exactly the same thing. It's basically, it's trying to scoop it up in the air. The hand's starting to go this way.
Yep.
Okay. Now, the counterintuitiveness of our game, I've got to get you to push down into the ground with that foot and push down with the golf club to then make the loft of the golf club make it go up in the air. So, it's a crazy game, man. It's a crazy game. So that's why when you see this heel off the ground, we want to swap that around. We want that to be on the ground, the right heel to be off the ground. Yeah. So like you'd throw any sort of ball, as far as that's concerned. So in other words, we've just got to swap this around and change some concepts in your head to allow you to achieve that. So if I go back over here and let's start looking at, we'll pick an Aussie. That'll do. So now here we start to see Stuart Appleby. Have a look where his left leg is, as opposed to your left leg, which is on a severe angle, yeah?
Yep.
So even though there's only about 55% there actually, so it's not a great deal. So as he starts to move this back, it moves a little bit, but there's still a fair amount of pressure here.
Yeah.
Okay. And his head hasn't moved around and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And then he pushes back past that line on the way down, which is what we're after. So if you have a look at his hands there now, they're way in front of the golf ball.
But they're still pointing, as opposed to my...
You're just trying to scoop it up in the air. We still maintain this angle here.
Yeah.
Okay. So for you, when we go to impact, we lose a lot of that angle, and you can see this angle's got even more. We haven't even pushed past that into there. So, that's what we're after as far as that's concerned. So there's a couple of neat little tricks that we can do to help you with that, obviously. And then you start to look at his impact alignments, and from that, his right heel's off the ground, not his left. Okay? And that's essentially all we're going to do today.
Cool.
All right? We'll get you from that, not trying to lift it up in the air.
You can see that just a lot of that is just...
Yeah. And when we're talking leverage from a mechanical standpoint, that's lost a lot of power. A lot of power. We'd rather see that quite straight. But when you're back here, there's no way in the world that you can keep on rotating through. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right.